Ciao guys! Today my girlfriend and I will be answering the internet's most asked questions regarding traveling to Italy. Some of these questions will be fact-based, whereas others will be more subjective, so I'm sure like Marta and I will disagree, as this is often the case. Question number 1. What language do people speak in Italy? I don't know who's asking this on the internet.
Dumbasses.
Apparently it's a doubt. In Italy, people speak
让米兰展现出绿色的一面。总的来说，它有很多可。
Italian. Question number 2. What are the biggest airports in Italy?
I would say Rome and Milano.
I would say, because we googled them.
No, I would say because I know that.
I actually googled them. Rome is the biggest in Italy. Second is Milan. Question number 3. I'm visiting Italy for the first time. Where should I go? The majority of people coming here from abroad, they have a very specific tour. A couple of days in Rome, then they go south to Naples, they see Amalfi Coast, Positano, also for a couple of days. And then they see usually art cities like Venice and Florence. Back to Rome and fly out. If this is your first time in Italy and you have a week to 10 days, yeah, I would advise to follow this route. Having said this, if you're coming for the second time or you have more days, Marta has some suggestions for you.
Yeah, I would say maybe you could add Milano. And I love Bologna, so I'm a big fan of Bologna, which is actually also really easy to get to because it's in the very center. Beach-wise, the south is beautiful. So Puglia, Sicilia, but then that's another trip.
Question number 4. What is the best time to visit Italy? Once again, the majority of people would opt for the period between June and August. The weather is usually nicer, it doesn't rain as much during the summertime, so people tend to decide, you're raising your hand.
But
But
there is a huge but.
yes.
It's really hot, but like extremely hot.
It's very hot and it's very touristic, so usually, of course, the demand is higher, prices are
Ah,
higher.
yes. I would come end of summer,
End of
September, October, or April, May.
Question number 6. What is the climate like in Italy? And welcome to another episode of Weather in Italy. Weather in Italy is very simple. The winter in the north is usually very cold. The summer in the south is usually very hot. Autumn and spring, nice weather. See you next time on Weather in Italy. What should I pack for Italy? This is very subjective. For instance, whenever I travel, I usually pack a toothbrush, one boxer that I usually turn around every couple of days. I think Marta can give you some advice on this.
Walking shoes for sure. Layers, because you're visiting a lot of churches and they ask you to wear covered shoulders.
Yeah, guys, respect churches. Take
Yeah.
off your hats, cover your shoulders,
That's it.
ladies.
And then maybe something fancy just for a night out, because
Yeah.
if you go to a nice restaurant, you cannot wear flip-flops. So just bring something fancy, but just for you to get more
In the mood,
Italian.
in
Yeah.
the Italian mood,
Yeah.
yeah. Is Italy safe? No. Generally speaking, Italy is very safe.
If you come from Japan, it might look
Dodgier,
it,
for sure.
it doesn't look safe.
Of course, there's pickpockets, you know, there's this minor crimes, things that might affect you, so just be vigilant. You know, always keep your wallets in your front pocket. Yeah, maybe don't wear a golden watch. Major crimes, you wouldn't notice them, because it's very organized here. What is the best way to get around Italy? I would say if you picked, let's say, the famous itinerary that we mentioned, high-speed train is the way to go. You have two companies, Italo and Trenitalia, both are equally good. Yeah. Trains are also quite affordable, especially if bought in advance. Having said this, if this is not your first time here and you want to see some different parts of Italy like Marche, the south, like Umbria, definitely rent a car. I would say renting a car allows you to explore these like hidden gems, little spots that not everyone knows, and it gives you a lot more flexibility, especially in small town where it's a bit more difficult to find connections, trains, etc. Having said this, if we're talking about city transport, it really depends on the city. Like Rome, for instance,
Forget about city transport.
walk. Walking is just walk around. In Milan, for instance, transport is quite reliable, so the metro works quite well, the buses. Is Italy expensive? Ha, this is a good question. Generally speaking, if you compare it to other countries in Europe, I would say it's on the affordable, not too expensive side. except Milan. The country in general, I would say, gives you a lot of options. So of course you can go to a very fancy restaurant, but then you can also grab a pizza slice for like a couple of euros, a coffee for €1.
I would say that's the nicest thing about our country. You can do a beautiful trip, no matter the budget.
What to eat besides pizza and pasta? Nothing. The whole point of coming to Italy is to eat pizza and pasta all day. Why would you want to eat anything else? No, but seriously, there's a lot you can eat. You know, Italy is a peninsula, so a lot of seafood, but then you also have a lot of meat culture and also some vegetarian options. Last but not least, and this is a big one, do I tip in Italy? I would say this comes for the most part from Americans who have a mandatory tip. In Italy, it is not mandatory. No one is gonna get offended if you don't tip, regardless if you are in a very good restaurant or if you're just in a snack place. Some nasty Italians, especially in tourist traps, will try to make you think that you need to tip. You don't have to. Having said this, if you had a nice experience at a dinner place, yeah, it's always nice to leave 2, 3, 5 euros.
It's really based on the experience you had.
Yeah.
So you can decide what to do.
So anyway, these were the most asked questions regarding traveling to Italy. I hope you're satisfied with the answers. If not,
dumbasses.
Let us know if you have any other questions, and we'll see you next time.
In Italy.
Oh yeah, if you come to Milan, come and say hi. We usually wander around the streets.